Do that. This white cooler with a red lid is mine. I've thrown extra water in it. Don't be bashful. Just help yourself. There's ice in it. If you guys get thirsty, get cold, grab at it. Okay? No big deal. In fact, if you even steal one of my Gatorades, I might not notice because I'll be delirious anyway. So, but it wouldn't help. So, all right. So there's a couple things you want to be aware of. There's 2 start boxes. The purple one way down there, it's about 50 yards or so from the shooting position. There's the green one, which is a lot closer. We have 4 targets. You see the white targets out there? 2 small, 2 big ones. Okay. All right. And there's 3 barriers here. Now the barriers, this one, and this one are the 3 shooting positions. And you're gonna have to be on the inside of this here, okay? Now, let me just read the stage description and then we'll go over it in detail if anyone has questions. All right, shooters will start in either the close or the far box. This is your option, okay? The rifle will be staged, instead of on the ground, it's gonna be on the table, kind of like this is set up here, okay? Rifle will be staged on the table, either behind. So I'm just going to write it out there. Table. Either behind the left or the right barricade. It's up to you. You can kind of pretty much put it on the table here, anywhere you want, wherever you want to grab it. You can decide which way you're going to go. Okay. The troopers must start at the far box. So if you're running trooper class, you have to start at the far box. That's the physical challenge. Everyone else, it's an option. All right, and the gun will be loaded with, I believe it's a full magazine here. Let me double check here. That's the cheat sheet. No round chamber, magazine inserted. Okay, so fully loaded with an empty chamber. Make sense?
Bolt forward, or can the bolt be back?
Let's see if it says. It does not specify. So
bolt open.
Yeah, so bolt open's an option. All right. At the buzzer, shooter will acquire their rifle. So you're running up here, and engage the targets from the appropriate for the start position. I'll get in a second. Box A, which is the close one, must engage the small targets. Okay, so if you're running the short distance, you have the smaller targets to engage. All right, the 2 small ones. Box B will engage the large targets. Right, so if you run that extra distance, you got a bigger target to shoot at. Okay. Shooter may not engage the same target twice. So the way this works is you've got 3 shooting positions, and you will fire your shots from each of those positions. 1 shot at each of your specified target. Okay. All right, after every 2 shots, hit or miss, whether you hit it or not, okay, the shooter must shift their position between the barrels to another barricade, and then continue until you've gotten 10 hits total, okay? That sounds a little confusing at first, but say you start here, you get 2 shots. If they're both hits, great, but it's 1 hit on each is the way it works, okay? So once you're here, then whether you get 2 hits or not, then you move to here. It starts over again. You don't even have to keep your sequence the same. When you're in this position, 1 shot at each target. It doesn't matter if you missed one of those targets here as far as where you start. Okay, that part's simple. But you're not done until you get 10 hits. And you got to keep going back and forth, no more than 2 shots per position.
And you have to be on this side of the barrel for this barricade.
You have to be using this barricade
as cover.
Yeah, you can go right, left, or over the top if you want.
Okay. You can't do this.
Right, that's correct. Well, actually, it's not even specified, but
if you're behind the thing.
Yeah, you need to be using this. Yeah. You know, basically using it as cover. Okay. You could do that from here though. You could rest on that if you want.
So you just have to change position.
Right.
So
every 2 shots.
You go
every
1,
2 shots.
2, 1, 2.
No. 1, 2, 3.
Then you come back to the middle.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there.
Yep.
So you can't.
Back and forth.
You have to go back and forth.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. 1/82 part time. If you don't get 3 hits in that time frame, you're done. Okay. And then misses and everything will be scored accordingly. Okay. All right. That's pretty much it.
So troopers
will start in the purple box.
We can shoot the big targets though, right?
Yes,
You're not limiting us to the little targets.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep. Whichever box you start from determines which one you shoot.
Okay.
So if you start from a trooper, you can shoot the large targets each time, though? The whole time?
Oh yeah. In fact, that's the way. If you start in the far box, all you're shooting is the large targets. You got 1 on the right, 1 on the left. That's it. And if you're starting in the close box, you're shooting a small target. Same thing. 1 on the right and left. And don't worry. Remember, each position. Think of it as you're starting over as far as you're shooting. 1 round at each target, whether you get a hit or not. But the RO will call the hits. And my recommendation is whoever's doing the RO, call the hits numerically.
Yeah,
when they get a hit, go 1, 2, and so on. Okay. When you hear the number 10, that's the 10th hit. You're done, no matter where you are, and that's good. Any questions?